Tory MPs are urging Brussels to wake up to the threat of a no-deal Brexit after the latest EU trade talks broke up without any progress. Boris Johnson's negotiators warned the discussions for the future relationship between the UK and the bloc were frozen, with Eurocrats refusing to drop demands for continued control over fishing waters, business regulations and state aid for industry. Senior British officials now admit that securing a deal next month to come into force on schedule at the end of the year won't be easy, given the frustrating behaviour from the EU, while Brussels chief negotiator Michel Barnier claimed a deal was unlikely. One senior UK negotiating official said, "Agreement is still possible and we still want it, but it won't be easy to get there." Former Tory leader Ian Duncan Smith, a leading Brexit supporter, last night led warnings from Westminster that Brussels has most to lose if the talks collapse. He said, "This is a wake-up moment for the EU. We became a sovereign country earlier this year and the EU needs to start treating us like one. If they don't want to, then so be it. The EU sells more goods and agricultural products to the UK than we sell to them. If they don't want a deal, the cost will be on their heads. We are negotiating trade deals with countries around the world while the EU stews in its own bullying, bureaucratic juices." Fellow Tory MP Andrea Jenkins, another prominent Brexit backer in the Commons, added, "The lack of flexibility is typical of the EU's bureaucratic roots and of its inability to adapt. It's time they realised that the UK has left the EU and we are not considering extending the transition period. EU citizens and businesses will benefit from an advantageous trade deal with an independent UK in line with the result of the referendum." At such a difficult time, we have to uphold the values of democracy, encourage a deal with the EU and boost our new independent trade policy with the rest of the world. We are leaving the EU because we don't want to be told what to do by Brussels, and we won't cave in their unrealistic requests on fishing, which was one of the main drives of the referendum result. 5 days of talks in Brussels in the 7th round of the marathon negotiations broke up yesterday, with both sides blaming the other for the lack of progress towards a deal. Mr Barnier accused British negotiators of wasting valuable time, as he lashed out in an ill-tempered rant at a Brussels news conference yesterday. Those who were hoping for negotiations to move forward this week will have been disappointed. Unfortunately, I too am frankly disappointed and concerned, and surprised as well, I must say, because British Prime Minister Boris Johnson told us in June that he wished to speed up the negotiations during the summer," Mr Barnier said.